Have you ever wondered what makes someone talk about a book they loved to a friend? And I don't mean just talking about it being like, oh, hey, I love this book. I mean talking about a book to a friend as if they're high school girls gossiping together. They're talking about the book because they are here for the drama of it all of the conflict, all the drama. So how do we create drama and conflict as writers? To do that, you have to create characters with tons and tons of conflict and that are very, very messy. So, to create the drama and the conflict and the messy characters, we're going to be using something called character maps, and that is what we are talking about today. Hello everyone, my name is Mandi Lynn. I'm an author, book cover designer, and the creator of the Book Launch Planner series, and I make weekly videos on the business of being an author. So if that sounds good to you, make sure to subscribe and hit the bell notification icon so you never miss a new upload. So let's pretend you're going for a walk and you pass by two women that are, well, gossiping. And this is what you hear. Johnny broke off his engagement because he found his fiancée canoodling with his roommate. Now the wedding is off, he's single for the first time in years, and to top it all off, he has nowhere to live. You know what? I should try and introduce him to my granddaughter. Oh, the drama. And would this drama work well for a book? Yeah, I think so. It'd be a pretty good start to an interesting plot. Let's dissect why. Poor John. The two people he is closest to, his roommate and his fiancée, have both betrayed him. Any plans he had for his future are officially gone. But it wasn't two separate things that ruined his life. It was one pivotal moment that ruined everything that was set up for his future. Sounds like a good story, right? What's going on here is that we created conflicted and complicated relationships because we don't just have Johnny and his roommate and Johnny is his fiance. Now we have the roommate and fiance making a connection together that ruined the whole thing. Now, how do you create conflicted and complicated relationships like this, or more importantly, keep track of it all? This is where character maps come in. Character maps are essentially like family trees that you see, but we don't just connect the familial relationships, we connect all the relationships. So the goal of a character map is to show every sort of relationship and connection that is possible. So this means you show how people are friends, you show family, you show villain connections, ex-lovers, co-workers, the list goes on. If you want an example of what a character map could look like, and especially a very messy character map, I would like to use Jane the Virgin, which is a TV show that I love very dearly. And this character map that was created by Jonah's Almost Famous, this character map shows siblings, enemies, friends, parents or children, people that have dated / been married / are exes, and my personal favorite, people that have been killed or kidnapped. There is a lot that is going on in this TV show, and it's not just the number of connections that is what makes it good, it's the overlap that what makes it good. As you can see when you look at the character map, it is very, very messy, and that's what we want, because the messier it is, typically, the more drama it creates. So let's talk about the elements of a messy character map. Element number 1 is triangular connections. So think of it as a love triangle where there are 3 people involved and all 3 of them are connected. But love doesn't have to be the connecting force. Maybe they're coworkers, friends, or like our previous example where one of them is a love connection, one of them is a roommate connection, and then another love connection to create that triangle connection that we're going for. Another fun example of a triangular connection is that maybe someone was adopted as a child and they don't know who their birth parents are, but they meet their birth parents later. But their birth parents are also maybe their boss or coworker or someone that they run into in some way, shape, or form accidentally. That is how we create a messy triangular connection. Number 2 is you also want positive relationships. So when we look at our character map, we don't want them to be all negative, messy, like yucky relationships. We also need some positive relationships going on in the map, like best friends or a good parent relationship or maybe a boyfriend or girlfriend that is a positive relationship. That way the readers have something to root for. It can't all be bad. If it's all bad, readers just get bogged down by that, and there's not a lot driving them forward to keep reading because it just feels hopeless. Most importantly, you need that positive relationship just to give the readers a break from all the drama. That way, when the drama does happen, it just feels that much more interesting. And number 3, my personal favorite, is to connect the good characters and the bad characters. By this I mean books are often black and white. It's very clear who's good and it's very clear who's bad. But what makes books extra juicy is when we throw a little gray in there. And by that I mean we want the villains to do something good sometimes, and we want the good guys to do something bad sometimes. This will add in a little extra spice in genre and also keep things pretty unpredictable for the reader. And that's also real life. In real life, we are not perfect people, and villains are not just always villainous. There is always good and bad to every single person. So having that in your character map and just in your characters in general will make it that much more realistic. Now, let's talk about tools to create your character map. There's a couple different things that you can do. My personal favorite, is to just draw it out on paper. I feel like when it comes to creating messy character maps like this, it is easy to get overwhelmed by it. And I think the easiest thing is to just write all your characters' names on a piece of paper, spacing them out, and then using a color-coded system to kind of connect your characters, and using the color codes to kind of say this character's a parent, or this character's an ex-lover, this character's a coworker, and it just makes it a little bit easier that way. Another option is Canva. Canva is a free tool, or you can also use the paid version of it. But you can definitely get away with the free version of Canva to create a character map. And in this way, you could use something like stock photos, or maybe you found photos of what you feel like your characters look like on Pinterest and use that to make a more visual version. That way you're not just writing down your character names. You're also just making it visually more appealing for you as the writer to figure out how all these connections are made. Or perhaps the middle ground of everything is my next tool, Campfire, which is a writing and outlining tool that I like to use. So this is a way to create a digital character map where you put in the names, you make the connections. If you click on the name of the character, you can also create an actual digital character profile as well. I kind of made a character map for my book in Meet Me at the Summit when I was trying to figure out a group of connections for the family members, and then another character map for a group of friends to figure out how those connections were as well. So that is character maps and making complicated and messy character maps. If you want more videos on writing books, make sure to check out my playlist. It will be linked down below. Or if you want a more intensive lesson on novel writing and you really want a guided step-by-step process of writing a novel, then I highly recommend checking out Reedsy's course, How to Write a Novel. I'm an affiliate for the course, so I will leave that linked down below as well. Otherwise, that is it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all next week.